Ttakchi. Ttakchi, an ancient game that dates back to the Joseon dynasty from 1392 to 1897, sees players engage in a battle where each tries to flip over their opponent's paper envelopes using their own. Traditionally played by school children, Ttakchi has evolved over the decades and can sometimes be known as Sotki. It's the game the series used to lure players into the main games. The current version sees players using a paper envelope, a lightweight and easy-to-make item that you can replicate at home. The game begins with a classic rock, paper, scissors match to determine who goes first. The first player places their envelope on the ground and aims to flip over their opponent's envelope. If they succeed, they win. If not, the turn passes to the next player. Red light, green light. Red light. Green light is a hauntingly simple children's game that becomes a life-or-death challenge in Squid Game. Contestants must move towards a finish line while a doll turns its back. When the doll calls out green light, players can run, but when it calls red light, they must freeze. Anyone caught moving during red light faces immediate elimination. Out of 456 players, 255 are eliminated from this exciting game at the beginning, leaving 201 participants. After such a bloody game, the participants decided to stop playing by voting and return to normal life. But normal life met them with problems, and 187 participants decided to return to the game. Dalgona, sugar honeycombs. In this devious competition, players are given a piece of sugar candy, Dalgona, with a specific shape engraved on it. The challenge is to cut out the shape with a needle without breaking the fragile honeycomb. Tensions mount as players work against the clock and the fear of elimination. Of the 187 players who entered the competition, 79 were eliminated. 108 participants survived. Lights Out. Although not an official game, Lights Out has a huge significance in both seasons. In both seasons, the organizers of the games provoked conflicts between the participants, which led to many deaths. This was done in order to weed out the weakest. Before the third game, the participants were given very little food for dinner. Because of this, some dishonest participants took 2 portions of dinner for themselves, leaving others hungry. This led to a massive nighttime brawl with murders. 28 participants were killed, 80 participants remained. Tug of War. In the third game, participants are divided into teams to pull a rope. This game turns survival into a social competition using strategy, teamwork, and maneuverability. Players must outsmart their opponents while trying to pull them off the platform. There are 80 players in the game. They have grown into teams of 10. There are 8 teams left. Exactly half are eliminated. There are 40 people left in the game. The doctor, one of the participants in the game, was killed the night after the competition. There are 39 players left. Balls. The fourth game is an emotional roller coaster where players are paired up and must compete in a variety of ball games of their choosing. The game featured 39 players. The game is convincingly structured in such a way that alliances and friendships can break through in moments of despair, resulting in the creation of the human condition. During the night, one of the participants hanged himself and 16 participants remained. Glass steps. Contestants must cross a bridge made of glass panels, only half of which are tempered and safe to step on. This game is literally one of the most dangerous, as players must take leaps of faith to determine which glass panels will break beneath them. Of the 16 players who attempt to cross the bridge, only 3 successfully reach the other side. One of the participants is seriously injured in the stomach by a glass and dies before the next game begins. Squid Game. As the culmination of the series, Squid is a variation on the classic children's game that involves both strategy and physical strength. Players must fulfill the brutal requirement of capturing and outwitting opponents on a large chalk-drawn squid area while fighting for their lives. Of the 2 players who start this final game, only one can make it out alive. The winner receives 45,600,000,000 Korean won. Rock, paper, scissors 1-to-1. Next up is rock, paper, scissors 1-to-1, which elevates the classic game into a fast-paced duel. Each player shows 2 hands, revealing their choices simultaneously. When the game master shouts -1, players must quickly put 1 hand down. The winner is determined by the final hands remaining. In the show, a twist occurs when the recruiter forces 2 players into a high-stakes version of this game, incorporating elements of Russian roulette. Russian roulette. To further heat things up, the recruiter and Song Ki-hoon engage in a thrilling game of Russian roulette. When a bullet is fired into the chamber, Ki-hoon survives by pure chance. However, the recruiter follows the accepted rules of the game. This sequence captures the deadly stakes played out in Season 2, demonstrating how the games in the Squid Game go beyond simple childhood pastimes. Red light, green light 2. The second turn is a repeat of red light, green light. The rules are the same. Song Ki-hoon is already familiar with them, and under his careful guidance the players play half the game quite well. But after one death, panic sets in, which leads to a large number of deaths. Of the 456 players, only 365 were able to finish. Six-legged pentathlon. This game is one of the most creative additions to the season. Players are grouped into teams of 5, with each team member's legs tied to the legs of their neighbor. The goal is to win 5 different minigames, spaced 10 meters apart. The minigames include modified versions of Ttakchi, flying rock throwing, marble games, and several others, each requiring different skill sets. Ttakchi. The rules of this game are described above. Bisokchigi, flying stone. A tombstone is placed a few meters away from the player. The participant is given a regular stone and must hit a mini version of the tombstone with cutouts of a circle, triangle, and stone from a distance. During Bisokchigi, the player is not allowed to step over the line while throwing. This game is somewhat similar to the game of Skittles. Konganori. Kongi, 5 stones, or knucklebones. For this game, you will need 5 stones the size of grapes, or 5 plastic cubes. The game consists of 5 levels and can be played solo or with friends. The player throws all 5 cubes onto the field. Then, there are 5 rounds in which the player selects one stone and tosses it. While the stone is in the air, the player must quickly pick up another stone from the ground and catch the first one. This action is repeated until all stones have been caught. Fengi, spinning top. To win, the player needs to wrap a metal spinning top with thread or string. Then, by holding the very end of the thread, they must give the spinning top a sharp flick onto the field while simultaneously pulling the thread sharply to set the top spinning. Jegi. In this game, you must kick the jegi, a shuttlecock, 5 times with your foot without letting it touch the ground. If the yegi touches the ground, you must start over. The game started with 365 players, 110 were eliminated, and 255 players remain. Third wheel. In this high-stakes game, players must occupy rooms inside a rotating platform. Numbers flash on the screen, and players must form groups that match the numbers shown, all within a tight time limit. Deviating from the numbers results in immediate elimination, making strategy crucial to survival. After the third game, only 100 people remain alive. Lights out. After the game, the organizers gave out forks with dinner, which made the night's bloodbath possible. Of the 100 people, 95 survived. Some of the surviving participants planned an escape. Due to cowardice and betrayal, the escape ended with many deaths. This is how Season 2 of the Squid Game ended. We are waiting for the continuation. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe to the channel, and check out my other videos. There's still a lot of interesting stuff. See you later.